All right, welcome to the channel, guys. And for those of you that aren't aware, this is my personal channel that I use for everything related to the household. But I also have my original channel, which is the Clack Shack. Now, the Clack Shack was started a few years ago doing woodworking and things like that. I started sharing content in the form of like DIY videos, and it started growing until the point that today, currently, I'm setting just under 43,000 subscribers with the channel. It has gotten to the point to where I plan to retire and go full-time content creation, but I'll have that little subsidy in the form of a retirement check coming in as well. So getting ready for a big career change, but I've had a lot of people ask me about the route that I took, the things that I've learned, and if I had it over to do over again, how would I do things differently? So that's going to be what we're going to focus on today in this video, is getting started, what to expect, some of the things that I had to learn along the way. And this is, like I said, I'm no guru. I'm no, great YouTube all-star or anything like that. I'm just a guy who had a hobby, had a passion, followed it, and now I'm going to let it allow me to retire doing the things that I enjoy. So if that's something you're into, you want to hear the story, stick around and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so as I stated before, but just to reiterate, I am not a guru. I'm not a professional. I'm not offering you classes to teach you how to start a YouTube channel. I'm just simply wanting to share my experience with you guys through the lens of a now 50-year-old person who has had a career for 25 years, looking to do something to do after retirement to make enough money to pay my insurance and help provide me with a little extra money to continue a decent lifestyle. Not getting rich. This isn't a get rich scheme. If you're looking to be the next big thing on the block, I'm not the guy to tell you how to do that. But I will tell you some simple, easy to follow things that I've learned along the way that have helped me and are currently helping me in trying to get the new channel off the ground, which is the Claycleys. And that's what we're here today on that channel, because I'm trying to build it up. So I'm going to walk you all the way back to when I started my channel, what got it started. This may be a lengthy video, guys, but I don't want to short you by not giving you the information that I have. So let's roll back to about January or so of 2022. All right, so in January of 22, I had just got my sawmill up and operational. I had been going on Facebook and was in a lot of groups and was giving information to folks about what I had done, how I used my machine, just general sawmilling stuff. And the easiest way for me to explain things a lot of times, because I'm a visual learner, was to take a camera and do like little short videos and show it to the audience so that maybe they could learn what it is that I had going on. And so that's where I started. So check out this oldie but goodie. This is one of my very first videos that I uploaded to YouTube right before moving into getting monetized. So let's check it out. All right, guys. I had a couple people asking me about my meal setup following the Kim video. And I took a lot of pictures over the years and sent them, but this will be my first video to just kind of give everybody an idea of how my layout is. As you can tell, I keep a lot of wood. It's all free wood that I collect, but I'm gonna spin the camera around now where I can show you some of the things that I've developed to make this milling a little bit easier for a one-man operation. All right, first of all, got a lot of questions about my loading dock. The loading dock is something that I came up with to try to make things a little easier when loading the mill. Previously, I didn't have this guy. This is my 50 horsepower Kubota. I use it for moving my logs and wood, and of course I use it to dig this hole to put my mill in because I live on a hill. But anyway, that concludes the tour of the mill. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm about to get to milling these logs here. I got 40 1x10s ordered that I got to get cut. So y'all have a good day. Thank you. All right, guys, so as you can see, this little piece of equipment right here is enough to get you started. If you're an iPhone user or an Android user, you can download apps. You can do basically everything on your phone. I know folks that have a lot bigger channels than what I have, and their primary go-to device is a phone, and then they edit a lot on tablets and stuff like that. So you don't have to go all in with all the latest and greatest gear. Things will come your way eventually if you're like me and you get to be a little bit of a geek when it comes to equipment. But you know, most modern cell phones now, smartphones, do a really good job with video and even some, you know, light editing. The first thing that you're going to want to invest in with that is a set of mics, some type of mics that you can connect to your phone or whatever device you use. I like these Boyas here. They come with two little microphones in here. They have the lav mics and all that. These guys work great. They have adapters to will connect to an iPhone as well as the other USB C connector, so they're pretty versatile. I use those sometimes. A lot of times I don't, because remember, guys, we're not trying to be full stage like, you know, Disney here. You want your videos to be relatable. You don't want to overdo it with the equipment, in my opinion. Like I said, just one fish in a big sea. But in my opinion, if people wanted to overproduce content, they would probably be watching like regular TV. If they wanted it to look like a TV show, they'd be watching TV. They wouldn't be on YouTube. So my opinion, I try to keep my stuff down to earth and keep it real. But as you can see with that video, it wasn't great. Okay. So just know when you're starting out, guys, your first few videos, you're going to look back at those one day and you're going to be like, oh my goodness. So, but as you buy equipment, as you start getting a little more comfortable in front of the camera, things will get better. So when you do your first video, go ahead and take it from me. Your first 20, 30 videos are more than likely just going to be warm-ups. Okay, so just go ahead and do it. Just get in front of the camera and do it and get it over with. So let's fast forward a little bit and see what came next for my growth and development into this thing that there is today. So let's move on. All right, so this next video is going to come to you from May of 2022. So at this point, I've been making content for about 4 months in trying to do it in an organized manner. By this time, I've invested in a tripod. I've gotten away from the GoPros and the phones, and I'm actually using a camera. Now, this is an older camera that I already had, and I'm using it. But you can tell I still haven't quite got the audio worked out. But we're moving towards that. So let me show you a few clips of that, and then we'll go back and critique it. All right, guys, tonight I got something a little unique, to say the least. I have been asked to create a framed goat skin, and you know, this is a first. I have never framed a goat skin before, so as promised, I got the back on it, got it put together, and now we have our framed goat skin. So there we go. Like I said, the only thing that's left to do is I'm going to make a tag to go on here, more than likely, unless they choose not to. Just having the date of the wedding and everything on there. But that's it, and this guy is sturdy. It's not going anywhere. It's tough. And the last thing you want to do is build something that someone's going to have in a wedding and build it to where it doesn't last. So this thing's built like a tank. It shouldn't go anywhere, and it's a little heavy, but I put the little hanging mechanism on the back there with a really good screw, so it shouldn't go anywhere. But that's how you frame a goat skin, guys. That's my first. Let me know what you think, and if you thought this was interesting, amusing, or otherwise entertaining, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm going to start including a lot more of my projects and videos, and kind of walk you through the steps, and maybe we can all learn something or figure something out together. But thank you and have a good day. All right, so now as you can see, the video's gotten a little better. Still not framing the shots the way that I like them now. But like I said, these are things that you're going to learn, and you're going to be able to go back and critique yourself later on. The audio's still kind of bad, but we're getting there. We're making progress. So the moral of the story is, guys, I can go back and look at my videos, and it is not perfect. So if you're waiting for you to learn everything there is to know about YouTube, if you're waiting to get the right equipment, if you're waiting to get the right software, get comfortable in front of the camera, get the right mics, if you're waiting on all that, you're never going to make it, okay? Because you're going to just keep waiting. I still have not perfected YouTube. It evolves. It changes. My style changes. What I want my channel to look like changes. A lot of folks want to be, overproduced and have all these different things, and they got like a camera angle over here and then straight on, a camera angle over here. It is just, that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want my channel to be. And the name YouTube means basically, the word YouTube, it's basically my videos, my channel. It's my choice how I want my videos to look. Now, you're going to have to come up with a method that you can get an audience to, obviously, if you're wanting to do it to make a little bit of money. But you want to have your own style. You want to be unique. Because the one thing that I have saw a lot of guys do is they try to be like other content creators, act like them, use the same gestures, use the same things, and it just doesn't work. If you've ever heard the expression, you have to be happy in your own skin, you have to be happy in your own channel as well. You can't take someone else's model that they've built their channel up to and try to apply that to you. You need to take what you're comfortable doing and what you want to do and adapt your channel to that. Because it's kind of like the old saying, if you enjoy your job, you never have to work a day in your life. That's true. But if you start trying to force yourself to be something that you're not, it's hard to keep that charade up, and eventually it's just not going to work. That's something that I've learned throughout my life in other ways, but it applies to YouTube as well. Because the things that you put into your channel, people are going to notice. They're going to notice if you're unhappy, if you're having to like struggle to make the video, if you're reading a script and they're sitting here watching your eyes as you're reading a teleprompter. That takes away that genuine feeling that is in that video. It's hard to communicate with somebody if you're sitting here just constantly, I'm reading a teleprompter so that I can tell you what to say. I don't like doing that. Other people, they rock it. They do good at it. That's not me. That's not how I am. When I turn the camera on, I typically have talking points in my head that I want to talk about. I have things that I want to put in the video, but it's not set in stone. And 9 times out of 10, I wind up straying anyway. I have to go back in editing and remove some of those things. So that's the next thing that I want to talk about, is now that we've kind of got over the fact that your videos are going to suck when you start out. Your equipment, you don't have to spend a lot of money on equipment. You just got to get your camera, get it out, video some stuff, make some content, put it out there. You're going to get negative feedback. You're going to get positive feedback. You can make the best video on the planet, put it out there, and you're going to get hate. You're going to get hate mail. It's going to happen. So don't be afraid of it. Just embrace it. Go with it. If this is something you want to do, just push forward. So now let's talk about what do you do with the video and the audio once you catch it, once you've got it. What do you do with it then? So in the early days, I would use the iMovie app on my iPhone. Then I upgraded to using it on my tablet. I also have used Windows Movie Maker back when it was still a thing. Now I don't even think it's a thing anymore. But currently I'm using Adobe. And the reason I'm using Adobe is because I already had some of the other tools and I was already paying for that suite. And so it was just kind of an easy transition for me. There's lots of other video editing softwares out there that do a good job. I do think that, especially starting out, you don't want to get too complicated, because the more things that you're trying to learn as you're getting started, it's gonna get to where it's gonna take the fun away from it. It's gonna steal your joy, and it's gonna become a hassle, and you're not gonna follow through with it. Another thing, and this is some of the stuff that I've read, and I search things, especially since AI has come around. It makes researching a lot easier. But very few, if you look at it as a total group, very few YouTube channels that start off actually reach monetization. In order to make it, let's say, to 50,000 subscribers, that's like the top 5% of the channels that are out there or thereabouts. Like I said, these numbers are from Google, whatever. But it's not a great percentage of people. And I think a lot of that has to do with folks. Like I said, they're trying to make content. They're trying to make content that doesn't fit them. They're trying to take this content and make themselves fit it instead of taking them and just being themselves and generating content from that. Because natural occurring content, like just content that just rolls, that's going to be a lot easier to produce in high volume and keep up the pace than if you're having to force it. So I think a lot of it is because they listen to other people and they try to imitate other channels instead of just being themselves. Because that's the whole thing about YouTube is be yourself, express whatever it is. Find people that are interested in the things you're interested in and make videos and they'll watch it. If they don't watch it, then, maybe you pivot, do something else that you're interested in. But eventually you will find it. And I've heard and I've seen it through my channel. Also, a lot of folks say that you have to niche down and you got to pick one little thing and it needs to be like, I like lasers or I like just CNCs. Although I have heard that a lot, I don't know that like in 2025, I don't know that it's as big of a thing. Because YouTube has been doing some weird stuff, even with this channel. This channel was like doing stuff in the yard, honeybees, whatever. I drop out a lawnmower video for a robot lawnmower. It's my best video. It's doing better than any of the rest of the videos. So I think now with the new AI and the way that the algorithm is feeding people things that they're interested in, I think the channel itself and as a whole is less important than the video, the thumbnails, the title, that kind of stuff. I think now we're getting to a point to where videos can live in channels that aren't necessarily catered to house them, but they can live there and do really well just because the AI tools that YouTube's using is doing a really good job of seeing what's in a video and then pulling it out of the web and just putting it right in front of those people that need to see it. So, and I think that has a lot to do with AI integration into everything these days. So I do think thumbnails is probably back to being important again because even though you're being shown, your videos are being shown to people, then, whether they click it or whether they don't, depends on what they see in the thumbnail. Does it strike interest? Does it make them want to click and learn more? Or, is it just like they're just going to swipe away, so to speak? So thumbnails used to be, as you'll see in some of these little things here, I've struggled with thumbnails. I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. Hopefully, I hope I'm getting better, but I'm still working on my thumbnails. But the editing, I edit videos for people like me. I see a lot of guys that like to move the camera a lot. They like to zoom in, zoom out. They like the camera's just moving everywhere. I am not an 18-year-old kid. I don't like the cameras moving a lot. I just don't. I like for you, one, to maintain eye contact with me. I don't want to be sitting here looking at you like this while you're talking over here. Because to me, this just, it's like, what is this? Who is he talking to? Is he not talking to me? Should I like check my email now or should I look at my phone? So, and then other people are like, the video is constantly like going way in here and then they're way back out here. I don't like those things. And I know this is wrong and people are going to be like, oh, you're wrong. You should make videos for other people. You shouldn't make them for yourself. I feel like I'm a pretty average 50-year-old guy. And typically I expect my audience to be an average 50-year-old guy. So I think the things that I like because of, the way our eyes work, the way our attention span works and all that, I think if I like it, most folks would agree. There's going to be some that are going to be like, no, I like it when it's moving around because my ADHD works better or whatever. But I'm OCD and I like, mom and dad used to, hey, look at me when I'm talking to you, that kind of thing. So when the camera does this, to me, that's just not what I like. So you've got to learn those things when you're editing your videos and when you're recording your videos. Figure out what works for you, put that in there. and then get your editing tool. And guys, there's so many videos on how to edit videos, how to do this and how to do that. But just get in there, learn the tool that you're using. About half of the video that I've recorded today is going to get cut out because I tend to meander. I tend to squirrel. I get off topic and I ramble. Those are things that I do. Sometimes I leave it in the video. Sometimes I cut it out. It depends. But you're going to learn to be critical of yourself because that's part of the editing process. If you think every video you make is perfect the first take, then you're probably not going to do real good at the editing, because I do. I take and I have to piece things together and try to make them fit. Like, it's ridiculous how much work goes into making my videos make sense sometimes to me, because I do venture onto other tangents. But like I said, editing is going to be a big thing with no matter what computer, phone, camera, mic, no matter what you have, editing is going to be a big thing. Now, focus on the audio being decent. People will deal with crappy video if the audio doesn't make their head hurt. Kind of like you guys. Like my little green screen thing I got going on over here. Some of you probably noticed that right around the edges of the shoulders and stuff, there's that little bit of this is a green screen and you can see it. But, you know, you've still watched the video to this point, and the reason is because hopefully my audio is better than my video. But I'm inside my shop, and so this is literally a green screen, and I can, you know, I've got it over time. I've got it set up now to where I can literally just change the background to whatever I want to make it look like, and it's pretty neat. I can take the background off. I can hide things. If I want a wall back there, I can put a wall back there. So these are things that I've done over time with mine. So these are things that you'll probably end up doing over time as well. But there's always room for improvement. So like I said, starting out, use what you got. Don't go spending a bunch of money on it. Just make content, get it out there. Dedicate the time that you have to that. Push hard, and don't give in to all the people with the negativity and the you'll never make it work or whatever. There are chances that you may not. Some people don't. But with enough work, dedication, and some patience, hopefully it'll work out for you. But the thing to remember, once you get into getting monetized, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. And if that's something you're interested in, as far as talking about how to create a channel that is monetized without restrictions or has a decent RPM, CPM, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I'm just dropping this video out here to see what you guys think. I will tell you that, I've read that this $7 is the average RPM for a YouTube channel. Mine runs closer to 17 to 20, depending on the videos. I think the average last I had, let me go look real quick so I don't lie to you guys. So for this month, my RPM so far in the last 28 days is $16.12, which is pretty good as far as RPM goes. All right, so in order to get those numbers, guys, there's a lot of things that you have to consider. One of the biggest things that I will tell you is keep your channel PG, okay? The locker room humor, alcohol, firearms, all those things, extreme political, either way, all of those things affect the RPM of your channel. Think of it, your RPM is kind of like the rent for your video. So when people look at renting a house, they look at the neighborhood. They look at, what can they expect from this place. Same thing with your videos. When advertisers are wanting to put their advertisement somewhere, they want to be careful where they put it. They don't want to be advertising to the wrong audience, as well as they don't want to be associated with certain channels and certain beliefs and that type of thing. So I try to maintain neutrality when it comes to anything that could negatively impact the RPM, and not necessarily just for the money. Of course, I am trying to make money. I'm retiring and I need some money to pay insurance. But I also like to be kind of a place for everybody, where everybody feels welcome to stop by my channel, to where you don't have to worry about if your grandkid walks into the room. You don't have to worry about what's going to come out of my mouth next. You don't have to worry about me encouraging your kid to drink or to do tobacco or anything like that. That's where I want to be. I want to stay. I don't believe in passing my beliefs off on anybody else, nor do I believe that other people should push their beliefs off on me. We're not here for that. We're here for whatever the content is about, whether it be laser, CNC, 3D printing, making YouTube videos, whatever the content is, we're going to stick to that and kind of maintain neutrality, because that's what the audience is going to like better. Because, just because you don't believe the same things as me, you can still watch my video, because I'm not going to be shoving things down your throat that you may not believe in. Same thing with the offensiveness and stuff like that. I don't have to have a rated R stamped all over my content, because we keep it clean here and do what I feel like is the right thing to do. That will help your RPM drastically. So early on, decide, is this something that you want to have fun with and you just want to be smoking, joking, and throwing them back, during your videos? Or is this actually a business to where you're going to look at things that negatively impact your profit margins? So whichever way you decide to go with it, just consider the options. Luckily for me, this is basically who I am. I don't do any of the big things that would get me dinged, and so it works out really nice for me because I just do what I normally do on a camera. But yeah, there's a lot goes into it, guys. And if anybody tries to, you see a lot of these people, and I see a lot of these videos, monetized in 6 months. Okay, I don't know how they do it. Could it happen? Yes, it could. Is that a realistic goal for the average person that works a 9 to 5? No, I don't think so. Not unless you get lucky and get that one just great video right out the gate. But the problem that with getting a viral video, and a lot of people's like, oh, my video to go viral. A lot of the problems with that is, even if you get that viral video, you can get all those views, you can get monetized and so forth. But if you don't have the skills, the ability to take that audience that you gain and continue to get views, that viral video actually may hurt you, because you got to be able to follow up with that and keep that going long term. Unless you're just having fun. If you're just having fun, then just have fun, do what you want. But if you're trying to turn a profit, these are things that you have to consider. But these are just some tips, things that I've learned in my venture to this point, guys. And like I said, I am not a guru, as we've mentioned at least twice already in this video. But through hard work and just perseverance for the past 3 years, I do have myself set up to be able to have a decent subsidizing income for my retirement. I'll be going full-time content creation, laser engraving, CNC business, all that. I'll be going full-time, self-employed here in about 25 days. And so me and my wife were talking, and she thought maybe you guys might want to hear the story and maybe catch some tips from it. So there it is. But if you hadn't already, go hit both channels. I'll drop links to the other Clack Shack channel down below. And be sure to subscribe for more. And till next time, be safe and have a good day.